Hello my lovely friends, my name is Waneka. I want to say a very big thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for supporting me. God bless you. And if you are new on this my channel, please do me well also to subscribe on this my channel. Please support me, support your girl. On today's video, I'll be showing you on how to cut off shoulder cut together with the sleeve, and I'll be taking you step by step in a way that you understand it. First of all, I will cut the front part and use it to cut the back part. Now, I fold my paper into two. After folding to two, I take my tape. I place my tape at the top of this my shoulder part here and measure my underbust. My underbust is 15 inches. I'll be using 15 inches today. 15 inches. Now, 15 inches is my underbust. My waistline is 18 inches or 19. I'm taking 19. Let me take 19. My 19 inches. I make straight line. I hope you see the straight line. And I add 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance. Almost 2 inches for my sewing allowance. Now after that, the next thing to do now is to take my shoulder measurement, which I've taken it already. My shoulder is 16 inches. When I divide 16 inches, what I got there is 8 inches. In all my video, whatever I get for my shoulder, that is what I use for my armhole. You don't need to start measuring your armhole again. Use your shoulder to get your armhole. And my armhole is 8 inches, alright? I've made straight line to it. Now, because I'm making off-shoulder blouse, you will determine the neckline of your choice. The neckline I'll be using today is 6 inches. I hope you see it. This is my 6 inches. From this upper side, I measure 6 inches. You can use 5, you can use 4. Depends how you want yours to be. Now, after taking all this measurement, all these lines like this, I make straight line. I've ruled my straight line. This one is my bust line. This to get this my point. All right. I normally go up. From my underbust, I always go up by 3 inches. 3 inches. Please watch my video on how to know your nipple to nipple and your breast point. I always go up from my underbust with 3 inches. So this thing stands as my breast point. This is my breast point. This is my underbust. This is my waistline, and this is the allowance of my blouse. After that, I'll now go up here to work on my off-shoulder sleeve. This is where I'll be working this way. After I finish cutting this dress, it comes out like this. This is how it's gonna be after drafting this work. Alright, so the next thing to do here is I come down, I go to this my shoulder part here. My shoulder part, you come down with 2.5. 2.5. See, this is 2.5 here. This is 1 inches. This is 2 inches. This line here stands as a half. That makes it 2.5. You come down with 2.5. Now after this 2.5, you will now determine the sleeve. The round sleeve I'll be using today is 11 inches. Alright, 11 inches. I will divide this 11 inches by 4. By 4. Alright, I divide this 11 inches by 4. What I got there is 2.75. Alright, I hope you get it now. My round sleeve is 11. 11 divided by 4 is 2.75. So this is where I'll be placing my round sleeve. I hope you are getting it. Now, this my 2.75 means 2 3/4. Alright, it means 2 3/4. See, this is 1, 2, half. This little thing here means quarter, 3/4. This is 1/4 and this is 3/4. So my round sleeve is 2 3/4. I made straight line to meet with it. Alright, I hope you are getting it now. Now after that, the next thing to do is to get my off sleeve length. The length of my sleeve. The length of my sleeve is 2.5. You can use 2.5. you can use 3 inches, but don't use more than 3 inches, because if you use more than 3 inches it will be too much. So what I'm using today is 2.5. 2.5. This is my 2.5 here. All right, I hope you're getting it. From here to here is my sleeve length, while from here to here is my round sleeve. Now after that, I'm going to connect this line to meet with this line so that it will correspond together. Now I will take my tape to measure this 2 3/4, but I will make this line longer than this. It's just little, like let me say quarter. All right, instead of that instead of here now is 2 3/4. Instead of here being 2 3/4, just make it 3 inches, just to go up little, or 2 or 3 1/4. Look at the 1/4 there. I hope you are saying. Let me use my scissors to show you the 1/4. This is 1/4 here. Just pass this 3 and say 1/4 here. So I just pass it to just quarter, just because I'll be making it slant. The line will be slant. All right. I hope you are getting it now. Now from here to here is my round sleeve. Here to here is my sleeve length. So this sleeve length, I will take it up to this upper side. I measure that my seam 2.5 and connect it to meet with this particular my round sleeve. I hope you are getting it now. It's very easy. Just make little slant there. Just slant. I made the chalk bold so that you can see what I'm doing. That is why I'm making the chalk to be very bold. All right, I hope you are getting it. Very, very easy. Very easy. This is where the work is. From here to here, my round sleeve. From here to here is my sleeve length. Here now is sleeve length. Here now is my round sleeve. After that, the next thing to do is to connect my neck to meet with my my off shoulder sleeve. I hope you are getting it now. It's very, very easy. Now I'll be using my French cuff to connect my neckline. Remember I said this is my neckline. We connect it to meet with my sleeve, my off shoulder sleeve here. I place my my French cuff. Please use French cuff to connect it, but if you don't have, if you can use hand to connect it, good. It's still the same thing. Make sure that you connect your work very well. All right, so I've connected the neck of my off shoulder neck. I've connected from my neck to meet with this. Later I use my hand to blend it very well to make sure I connect everything together. So the next thing to do now, because on this dress I'll be adding little that on it. I know that I'm making padded. Just want to add that on this front part. My that is 5. That is my nipple to nipple is 5 inches. So I will make this 5 inches and draw the straight line. I will take it up to this my neckline, neck part. All right, and make straight line. I connect it to meet with straight down to my waist. All right, see what I'm doing. If you cannot do it, you can just cut it like that and sew just to give it fitting. That is why I'm attaching this this particular one, right? Just to make it to be very nice. So the next thing to do now, I will come down to this my underbust. This my underbust here. For this side here, I will take out 1/2 inches on this middle part. I don't normally take 1/2 inches out there, just because I'm not making it padded. Just that I'm making it that. All right, just kind of body that. I'll just take 1/2 inches here, and I'll come to this side here. I take 1 inches. I hope you see it. I come for this my breast point. This is my point. I come down by 1/2 inches. Like I said to you, I am not really making it padded, just a little that I'm adding it. So after that, I come to this my neck side here. I go from this side. I measure half inches. So I'm going to use my hand to connect connect it to meet with this. All right, I connect it. If you have French cuff, you can use it to do that, so that your work will come out very neat. This French cuff helps a lot. It helps you to get what you want. Very nice. All right, so I will appreciate if you can get French cuff for your work. French cuff helps your work to come out very, very perfectly, very neat. It makes your work to come out very, very neat. So I've gotten this dart here, so I will connect this dart to the damp part. I'm still taking it this other side, the same 1 inches, 1 inches and half inches on this side. So I connect it together. It's very easy to do that. So I hope you are seeing what I'm doing here. From here, I remove half inches here, half inches. Why did I remove this half inches? Just to enlarge the shoulder pass very well. It will make it to enlarge very well. That is the reason why I remove this half inches on the both sides. So the next thing to do now is to add allowance on this side, this neck part here. Because if you don't add allowance on the neck part, after making the dress, it will short, as in it will affect the neck part. So I add half inches. So I'm going to be adding this half inches like this. I will add this half inches on this neck side. You see what I'm doing? This is what I will do up to where this the round sleeve is. So I add half inches. See how I'm adding my half inches. Very easy to cut. You don't need to start cutting off shoulder sleeve. This one now, just together with it makes it very easy. So I add half inches from this side up to this side. All right, so after sewing, after turning the neck of my off shoulder, it will remain it will balance very well. On this other side, I've already had enough allowance there on this particular side. If not, I could have still added by half inches. With this one I add on this damper, it has covered the half inches I'm supposed to add also. So the next thing to do now is to start to place my body measurement. All right, my round bust is 42. 42 divided by 4 is 10 and a half. Is 10 and a half. I measure my 10 and a half here. Now I add my sewing allowance. My sewing, and I add on this one. I'm cutting out 1 and a half. I cut out 1 and a half. Now the next thing to do now, before adding this my 1 and a half, let me explain it well for you. From this folding part here, I divide my measurement into 4. What I got was 10 and a half. 10 and a half. 10. This is 10 and a half. So what the allowance I will add there is my off shoulder allowance. All right, my off shoulder allowance is 2 inches. Is 2 inches. So the next thing to do now is to connect this place to meet with this my armhole here. I use my French cuff to do that. I'll place my French cuff here, not on this my main body measurement. On this 2 inches, this allowance, this is my off shoulder allowance, I add it and make cuff there. See what I'm doing? This is what you do when you're cutting yours. And make sure I take it like this. I've made the chalk very bold so that you see what I'm doing. I didn't cut from this my body measurement. I cut from my off shoulder measurement. I add 2 inches. So after that, when you're joining it to your main fabric, as in the main material, you add sewing allowance. Add sewing allowance. Add sewing allowance 2 inches. All right. Okay, let's assume this is what I'm adding now. Okay, I'm adding 1 inches on it because of the paper is not much. I add it like that. Please, when you're making any dress, you're cutting any dress, always add enough allowance. After sewing your dress, you can trim off the excess. Because if you don't add enough allowance, after sewing your dress, you will start looking how to join your work. But when you have enough allowance on your work, after you sew finish, after finish sewing your dress, you cannot trim off the excess. So that is how it works. So I'll see what I did now. I cut from this side to meet with my off shoulder dress. So the next thing to do, I've gotten my bust measurement. I come down to my under bust. My under bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. Okay, this is my 8.5. This is my 8.5. I marked my 8.5. Remember, I'll be cutting out this 1 inches here, half inches here. That is 1.5. This is my 1.5 here. And I will add my sewing allowance. Please always add enough allowance for your work so that you will not start looking how to join your dress. Please, it's very, very important. Add enough allowance on your dress. So after that, I connect from this to meet with this wall here. All right. Now I come down to my waist. My waist here is 9.5. After dividing my measurement into 4, remember I'm taking out 1. I always add this one. You know I'm going to cut it out. Please don't forget to add this thing, this two what I'm removing, because if you don't add it, it will affect your work. I add my 1.5 and add my sewing allowance. Please add enough allowance on your work. After that, I connect it to meet with it. All right, so the next thing to do, I have drafted it finished. I've drafted the work. So the next thing to do now is to take this front part to cut my back parts. All right, so I take, before cutting my work, I take this particular work. Let me cut out this side first before transfer to this particular back part. All right, I start to cut from this side here. So when you are cutting, cut on top the chalk you marked. So I cut from my armhole. So be careful on this armhole. Be very, very careful when you are cutting it. Please follow your chalk. This work is very, 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 very easy to make. After making the dress, you will see how it comes out. So see what I'm doing here. I'm showing you so that you see it well. All right, you understand everything I'm doing. I promise to teach you step by step so that you understand it well. All right, please, if you have not subscribed yet, do me well to hit on that red button and subscribe for me. Please follow the slant. So please start to cut from the allowance. Don't cut this first chalk. Cut this allowance chalk here, because if you cut that first one, it will affect your off shoulder neckline. All right. All right. So see it now. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, do me well also to subscribe on this my channel, like my video and share my video. Please support your girl. So before cutting this particular middle, I will place it on the back part. So the difference from this work is my zip line. This is my zip line. I use 1 inch for my zip line. All right, this is my zip line. I place it on top the zip line. So I'm going to be tracing it now. I'm going to be cutting everything together. So I'm tracing it now. All right, so I'm tracing the work like this. All right, so the difference there is this particular side here. Let me show you. It's the same work. So when you get to this armhole side here, please go up by ½ inches. I've marked this before. Why am I going up by ½ inches? Because the back will not go inside, go deep inside like the front part. This one I cut here is the front part. So this back part will not go too deep. So always from here you go up by ½ inches. All right. So you're not cutting exactly the same armhole with the front armhole, because the front armhole already is deep. The back can be deep like that. All right, but this place will be the same like this. Everything is the same except that right, see the half I go, just this place that will be different. I go up by ½ inches. The rest one is the same thing here. So I will be cutting the front part. The front part is the same thing. I've added the half on the front part, so no need of adding again on the back part. Like I said, the difference is that armhole side here. All right, the back, the neckline, everything is the same thing. You see it? So the next thing to do now is to cut out my dart. So you don't need to start to take that again from the back. What you do on this back part, this side I go in this side to have 1 inches. Why here is 1 inches? It's still the same thing, but the difference is that this, for the back part, I will, instead of taking 1, I will take ½ inches. All right, see the back part, the difference is just ½ inches. Instead of going here with ½ inches, I just front here is 1 inches, while the back here is ½ inches and ½ inches. So it's still the same thing. So let me cut out the back part first. Sorry for that. So I'll be cutting out my back dart. Please remember to remove from the underbust ½ inches, waist ½ inches, please. And this my off shoulder side, so that it will balance your shoulder very well. So I've removed the dart of my back. All right, so this is the back dart. So I come to my front dart here to cut it out. Be careful not to cut the back part. So I start to cut it. I'm cutting it step by step so that you know what I'm doing. That is what I normally do in all my videos. I do my work step by step so that everyone can get it right. All right, please, when you're cutting your work, be careful not to cut the back. So I will remove my dart now. This is the dart I'm removing. This is just normal body darts. I'm not really making it padded. So I've cut it out. Please, after you're done finish your cutting, make sure you notch all your work. I always talk about this notching of the things. It helps a lot. If you don't notch your work, you will know where to face. All right. So like this, my place now, this is my underboard, this is my breast point. I must notch everything, notch it, so that when you start sewing it, you won't start looking for where the dart is or underboard. As you notch this place, also notch the lining also. That gives your work very easy. Now come to this middle part. This is my breast point here. I make notch here. I notch it. This my notching helps me a lot. If I be following my video, I notch all my work. I can't just cut without notching it, because if you notch it, you don't know where to. When you start joining your work, you will not know how to do that. But with this notching, you will know where it is. So even on this side here, I normally notch everything. Follow my step and notch your work. You will see, even if you are using lining to turn everything, with this notch it will tell you this is waist, this is hip, this is underboard, this is your breast point, this is your butt. You won't get confused. You won't start looking for it. So it helps a lot. All right. So I will use needle now to join everything together. So when you are done, you use chalk to number it. This is the side. This is a middle one, and this one will be side 2. Please try to mark it side 2, side 1. All right. You see, with this my notching now, I was able to know where the point is. See it like this. This is my point. So I will start to use needle to sew it now for you to see. But in case if you want to add gum stay on it, paper stay on it, or wording, you can add it like this. All right. In case if you want to add the wording on it, see how I use chalk to mark it. You just cut wording and place it there, wording or gum stay or paper stay, whichever one. On this particular middle part, make sure you gum from this side here, come down like 2 inches and gum it all this way from this plate to this underbust here. If you are gumming gum stay on it or wording, whichever one, on this particular side, the same thing. After that, you sew it. It will come out as your padded. All right. Right. I've used my hand needle to join these front parts. All right. See the inside. So this is how you will join this. You will join the lining also. After joining this main fabric different, you join lining also different, and use the lining to turn it to sew from this sleeve side. Sew it to cut from the neck straight to this side, and use it to turn it. All right. When you want to sew it, turn it to the right side. Use lining the right side of the lining and the right side of the main fabric. So use it to join it from this side like this. After that, you turn the lining to the back side. All right. So after that, you use the lining to hold it this side, and that is how to do that. Very easy to cut this half shoulder dress. And for the back side, the way you join the back front part, that is how you join the back part. There's nothing different there. The only thing different there is this back part. This back part, if you are joining it to the down part, like this one is upper side. If you are joining to gown, as you're making the gown that has cotton, on this back part, use your tape and measure 1 inches. Go up by 1 inches. Why did I go up by 1 inches? Is to avoid the puff at this zip part. Now after that, after you go up by 1 inches, the highest you can go up is 1/2 or 3/4. After that, you use your chalk to connect it. You use your hand to connect it like this. All right. Connect it like this. You see what I did here? With this one, you go up for this zip part. It will reduce the puff at the back part. All right. It will avoid that puff at this zip part. Try to remove it so that after making your dress, there won't be any puff at the zip part. All right. So this is how I trim it off. In case if you are joining it to the dress that has the joining. All right. I hope you get it now. Now those dresses that has joining down part and the upper part, at this upper part, this zip part here, always minus 1 inches. The highest you can manage is 1.5 inches or 3/4 inches. So after fixing your zip or joining your dress, there will not be any puff at this zip side. So this is how to do that. The same way I join the front, that is how you join the back part. There's nothing too hard about it. All right. So this is how to cut this off shoulder cut together with sleeve. Very easy to cut. Give it a try and you see how easy it comes out. And please, if you have not subscribed before watching my video, before leaving, please do me well to hit that on that red button down. Subscribe for me, like this my video, and share my video. Thank you for taking your time to watch my video. I love you. God bless you. Bye bye.